Well, now, after a brief break of building another kit, I now have the Master Grade Dom here and the High Grade Dom Tropen tropical type from the Unicorn Gundam animated series on display, and finally got the little quad missile packs, Sturmfausts there set up. It's interesting how to set this up. It's not completely even, but you're able to, you should be able to do this right if you can. Put the sheet rod here just to slide in there. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't mess up if you turn it. Maybe you turn it one way and the other way you can't, but alright. I'm not fond of the fact that this hand doesn't want to hold the bazooka right. I'm surprised that at the time they should have thought of a parts forming hand that will be conformed to the bazooka, but it's okay. Pretty okay. But remember, the reasons why I did this is because I want to find out what to do with this, where I'm going to go with it. I mean, there's a lot of cosmetic changes here. I mean, a lot of cosmetic changes. I think the only thing that probably won't be changed would most likely be the hands. The hands will be the same thing. I know that the hands is complete coverage right there, and this one has like a little formation there for this. But it is the ball for the shoulder is okay. This part is okay. That's probably going to be left alone. The knees, whether I'm going to maybe cut that out and put a line into it, maybe I'm just going to leave it alone. The back part of the leg of the back, yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. You won't be able to see it because it's going to be covered up by the back skirt. Yeah, I'm going to be tearing this guy apart and then putting it back on to make it look like that. Or if we do the old Lord of the Rings force perspective, I knew that was going to fall off. It would be around. Let's put that there, and then we'll just do that. And if you squint your eyes, there you go. That's what it would look like. You see? And let's talk about that. So, let's begin with the feet. The most notable part of the feet is the bottom. And this one, the feet is has its own unique look to it. So you have definitely your left and right foot. This one is both the same. I'm not going to change the bottom of this because definitely I'm going to need it to be similar to how this is, because you have, I'm going to see if we can remove this foot here. There we go. And so you have all this workmanship right there. You have this part and this part. So the one thing that we'll probably be worried about is removing this entire section up here on the top, or cutting it so that way it bends in, and then you have to have something that comes around here that is associated to the black part of this. That we can try to figure out, or maybe go over this, something like that. And then we have this technical design right here, this little part here that's going to have to stick out. Now mind you, it's going to stick out, but then you have this entire skirt area that's going to be also adjusted as well. And then back here we have this section here that has to be changed and recreated. Not to mention the fact that a portion of the bottom part of the foot is going to be showing off this detail here, which is kind of like a skirt, like a hydrofoil skirt type setup. So this entire area, this entire black part may have to be removed, readjusted, and then I'm going to have to cut here and then make a new heel that goes up to here and make it as a like a hydrofoil skirt setup. So it'll look like that. But that's the foot. I'm gonna have to begin removing some of the stuff here so it's easy for me to work with. Now the leg. The knee. Clearly that has to stick. This part is not going to be showing. It's going to be cut up there and extended out. This entire section will be removed, and then we're going to actually retain this knee, this armored part, but we're going to cut the sides around here to make the new part this little bulb thing, and detail it up to there, and then where it does this. I know in the anime, and I believe in the video game, this is a separate part where the thrusters are, so that can actually pivot up. That's what we're going to do with this one, where there's thrusters here. We're going to make a section where it can lift up and the thrusters can be exposed. And then we have this little part here that has to be created. So everything has to be all built around this entire section from here to here. And we'll still use this. And then by removing this, we're going to create this section here for that part. The leg itself, the thigh armor, doesn't have to be touched. We're going to leave that alone. Raise up the armor back. Now, this is where it's going to get a lot trickier, and that is the skirt armor. The skirt armor, this section is actually pretty good, but this needs to be extended down a little bit. At least, yeah, I mean, if not extended down, more like, well, this whole belt thing is not even there anymore. This whole thing goes right over there, so I may have to cut this part and that part and remove that, and then extend the skirt going up to there, and then putting on detail like you see there. Whether we're going to do these little notches there, I don't know. But I think the most important change difference has to be, of course, the front skirt. So this entire section has to be extended downwards, like going down like that. That's fine, that little separation there. Whether I want to keep this there or not, I don't know, but I do know that this will have to be removed and then extended out a little bit so we can put the bulb there for the pilot, which now raises another question, and that is, of course, the actual portion here of the upper torso, where I'm going to have to clearly this has to be removed, and we may have to probably sand it down or cut this around, but then that's not going to work, because remember, that is this, but this is this. This is a new mold, a new type of setup. Not to mention the fact that this has the two shoulder armors, the internal shoulder armor right here, which is a lot different. This one's a little higher from the head, so that needs to be adjusted. The cowl that goes under this has to be removed. The head obviously needs to be redesigned, because not only has the sensor pod on the top, on the cranium, you also have an extension here of the back of the head. Another notable difference is the shoulder armor. And in all due fairness, I thought I'm probably gonna put parts over this. I'm gonna sand it down, of course, make the holes there, and then put an extension over them to extend out. I have a lot of plot plate for this. I'm gonna try that. The actual arms is another thing, because these are two parts holding onto the entire section. So I don't know how I'm going to do that, or I may have to see that contains that, that's fine, but then we have to remove all this, put a joint like that there, and then put something under there. Whether I'm going to do that or leave it alone, I don't know. But remember, there are things that I need to remove so I can then paint it separately if I have to. The backpack. Clearly removing the front part and removing the back part are two different things, because this entire section here is going to be removed, and a new back, not only a new back plate of the armor is going to be created, but a new back part as well with the new thrusters. And I'm going to remove this and put it there, and make a polycap section so I can put this one in there so that the heat rod can be on the side. That is a lot of work. We already have the spacing, we already have these for this, we already have this gun, we already have the bazooka. Now we just have to put it into practice. Enjoy this kit, what you're seeing right now, because I am going to gut it up. Okay, so I'm getting ready to begin a massive amount of scratch building and cutting and breaking and slicing and dicing and all that stuff. Pulling out some tools, some stuff that I've had. Obviously I'm going to be scribing, so I have a couple of scribers here. Here's a Tamiya's plastic scriber. I've heard many people saying that this is not a very good scriber. Well, we'll try it. And here's an Olaf scriber as well. Something that we will be testing out. I always have the old reliable, I call it the tungsten scriber, because this thing has a bit of heft to it. Now I have some masking tapes, but I have a clear masking tape and that I have to find, which I'm going to be using for me to put the the lines on the kit, to scribe out new lines, you could say. I found some tubing, and this could be for like the tubing that's on that little weird thing that's on the side, but this could be part of it or supplement to it, so we'll put that to the side. But maybe it's time I start working on these guys, putting on some sanding sticks, because I do have a lot of sanding sticks. For example, I have these. These are the 400 grit sanding sticks, which have now. Let me see something here. Where they're now completely and utterly used. That they still have a good feel to it for sanding. Is that 400? Yeah, so clearly we can use those. But for something like this is going to take a lot of space. We have smaller sanding sticks that also has gone through the test of time. This is actually 1000 grit, because I actually feel that's 1000. This is 400. This feels like 1000. That's 1000. This actually feels 400. I know that these little ones are are 400, and I really like them, but the tip starts to peel off after using so many times. I have this one. These are 400 as well. That's 1,000. I also have the 400 strips, which I could use on this, which I'm going to glue on. I know I have the several levels here, so we have the 3, the 4, and the 1. I don't know where the 2 is. The 2 must have fell someplace. I gotta find it. So what I'll do, I'll make this one. I'll use these two. In reality, it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna. You can tell by basically how it feels. There's no stripping on this, so I could probably do this and glue it on. And I'm going to use Elmer's glue to apply it. And that way, once I'm done with this, I can always peel it out later on. There we go. Oh, perfect fit. That's nice. We'll let that dry later on. Of course, I'm going to have to cut these, so where are my knives? So my blades are really starting to get dull. I'm going to replace them with new ones. I have a lot of blades. Gotta make sure that they're the right ones, of course. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. So that's taken care of. Another 1,000 stick. Now, there is something that we definitely need to prepare also, and that is the saws. So I can, saw the parts down. I have this one, which is actually, believe, from Tamiya. This one I actually ordered from another company. I'm gonna put that here. I was actually thinking of getting one of those vibration knives, which they go really high frequency vibration sounds, and I've seen them, some model builder just with it's like a pen type thing. You just go down on the plastic and it goes down like a hot knife through butter. But it's expensive as hell, so I'm gonna have to use the old saws to take care of that idea. Then of course I'm going to sand it down. If I have to do some parts that needs to be sanding down evenly, I have this, or specific angles. So this one also needs to have a sanding stick too, if I need it. I might as well prepare that right now. By the way, I think these are the God Hand sanding strips. I'm going to just glue that too. Actually, it's here. This is going to be a lot of preparing here. Make sure I have everything. I have to get all the materials for this, because I need to find out how I'm going to tackle this. That's good. So as I'm putting these to the side and classify them, Other stuff that I have is I have more sanding paper, 400. I have the 600 right here, which I can actually cut, prepare that if need be. The knives I gotta reset up. I also have some Mr. Hobby's white putty, which I've had this for a very, very long time. This is technically something to use to fill in seams, to fill in holes, and all that stuff. It is not meant to be something to to make a new part or to extend, you know, to redesign. That, of course, I'm going to delegate that to the plow plates that I have collected. This is a 0.2 millimeter. This is a 0.3 millimeter. And this is a 1 millimeter right here, which I think I'm going to be using the majority of it. Especially in the areas of the skirt that we may have to extend out. I have some other parts that I don't know if I'm going to be doing. Remind you, I'm showing you these, but it's all subject to change because we don't know if we're going to be using all of these. Another thing that I have, which I thought I need, is this milliput. I actually had a friend of mine order this for me, and he sent this to me. Thank you, Miguel, for that. Yep, this is the flat putty that you just take, you know, the amount that you want, the other amount you want. You mix them together, you form them up, and then you do what you got to do. So I've heard many, many positive things about this. I can't wait to try them out. So I'm ready with this. I don't think I have anything else to show. I mean, clearly, we're going to be doing this ad hoc. We'll do some audibles. And even though this guy is not happy that I'm going to be taking him apart and turning him into something else, well, too bad. You're going to become the Dom Tropen, whether you like it or not. Alright, so I'm going to begin gluing a few parts that I know it's going to that's necessary, like the shoulder piece right here. I was able to funnel all the glue from the other bottle into this bottle, so that way I can utilize it to its fullest. I'm gonna have to end up buying new glue. I know somebody that told me that there is a specific brand that's really nice for Gundam kits, other than, you know, either Tamiya or Testors. Let me just squeeze that in there. And I'm going to apply vigorously. Make sure it's all the way there and nicely tight. There we go. So this part is done. I already did this one, which is already semi-dried, but I am going to sand it down. And I'm not using the stick that I just created. I'm going to use a standard 400 grit right here, curvature. That's the one thing about the shoulder part of this, is that for the you know what, let me just take this out so you guys can see it. Oh, come on, get out. So this has like a bit of a bulge, as you can see there. And And I was actually considering of maybe cutting all this and then putting the plot plate or whatever around it to form this. Whether I'm going to do that or not, we're going to play it by ear. But first, I want to sand down all these parts, make sure that I cover, you know, all our bases here. Let's see if I don't miss anything. And then we'll want to try something and see if it works. So, hang on a second while I take care of this. So, I'm taking apart the legs at this moment, sanding it down, cleaning it up, and trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. And the first thing we need to find out is where is the center of the foot where it falls on. So I'm going to put this back here. And we realize right here, this is where the center is. If we expand it out a bit, can tell where it goes and where it wraps around. I don't want to wrap it around to look like this, because that's going to probably be a lot of work, and then I may have to redo this thing. I want to build it off from here, but I want to start cutting areas. Most notably, I could probably cut this section here and here to put this one out there. That's one. And also this, or I can cut that part and then cut it up to here, so I can make the this section here stick out. That's an idea. I can also maybe put a rigging here, put some poly caps, so that way that part can go in like that to the side. So that's an idea right there. So we have a section that I can remove, put this large part here and that part here. This entire part here where this is simulated, I can probably remove this entire back section and make the skirt armor setup like I mentioned before. I know that the skirt armor goes all the way here, so that means I would have to cut all the way there to do that, and then make the skirt armor and then put this one on top. This is the part where I'm thinking I'm going to be drawing the most problematic situations, where I think I may have to cut this entire section here, and then maybe using the putty after I put this guy back here, like cut. Let's see here. The whole thing is up to there. Cut to this, and then put the putty to where it goes down. But then you have this section here, so I would have to put more plate. Well, no, because if you cut this, then I have to make this section here wrap around, but it's there also. Just a little. I wonder. Hold on. Maybe I can cut this entire section right here, then cut that, and then take this and put it there. Bring it down. That's an idea. Because in all due fairness, this one goes like that, but it would have to be a little higher up like that. That's a test run right there. We're going to try that. I just got to make some notes on this and measurements. The same thing with this guy, where when you look at this, removing all this, you have the detail of the knees. In the P Bandai version of the high grade, this part here is its own detail, but this is supposed to be connected to the knees so it can actually go moving around. You do have these parts, but they're not as close to the detail here. This is more a square formation as this formation here. Furthermore, you also have all this. So I think what I'll be doing, and let me use where's my marker here? I just had it here a minute ago. Where's my marker? I just had it here a moment ago. I was moving things around, and now I can't find what I was going to use to mark this. Where are you? Within arms. Oh! Yep, I think I can. Oh, fudgesticles. Yeah, we'll use this. Since everything moves in the middle, I think we'd be cutting down to here, and then here. Mind you, this is basically all ad hoc. I'll be re-measuring all this, and then it will go there, there. Then this goes out like that, and like that. Something like that. Because also, this goes inwards, and then cuts off right there. And then we're going to have to put more plating along the edges here, because then if we look around here on the side, I want to make sure I look at this right. This is actually where the seam line is. All the way here. And then this whole back section here. Considering that this part, I know it's on a polycap, I'm going to put it right to there. And then we just come around. There. I think we got it around. Did we? Obviously no. But what I'll use tape to mark it off where to go. So I know this is going to be cut. This is going to be panel lined, but also this is where it's going to be cut around there and around there, and then more detail there. This is going to be interesting.